Welcome back to Crazy Dave's Crew. I'm Laura and you're watching Thirsty Threads. Continuing with my disappearing series. So this time I'm going to do another disappearing fence rail. So I've already made my fence rail and I just used some strips that I'd purchased from Walmart. Usually get these over by where the fat quarters are at. I don't know, $5, $6. Number one, don't assume because they say it's 2.5 inches that it really is 2.5 inches. Always measure. For example, in an earlier video, like a year or two ago, I'd gotten some from Joann's. They were slightly off. Now if I measure, and they were pinked, and that creates a whole new thing, because with my 1/4 inch guide, you know, it was wanting to go with the top of the little mountains. You have to measure from the valleys of the pinked edges. So when they're pinked, you need to be very careful. So don't assume, measure them. And just at first glance, these are actually just a little bit more than 2.5 inches. So you may say, well, it should be, if I sew these together, it should be, you know, whatever width. Well, mine ended up being just a little bit more than that. So always make sure, never cut to what it ought to be. Cut to what it is. Does that make sense? Second, when you're doing a fence rail, if you're sewing up on this seam, make sure this one's going the opposite direction. And then up and then down. Okay? Does that make sense? You want to kind of alternate the direction of your sewing of your fence rail pieces. Okay, now we're going to get to the fun part. So the first thing that you want to do after you've sewn your fence rail is to measure it. How tall is it? Because I said I know what it should be. It should be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It should be 10.5. But is it? So let's see. It's actually closer to 11. Now let's take it and double check it here on my mat. So I'm just going to kind of get one of them guided up over here. It's at the 10. And this way, it's looking closer to 10 3/4. Let's double check another section of it. Remember what they say about measuring twice? And that's not to say that this ruler is bad. I was looking at it the wrong way. So let's take another measurement here. And again, let's get it on the 10-inch mark. Oh, whoops, that's on the 11. Let's go to the 10-inch mark. And we're still looking at about 10 3/4, almost 11. And that could be from the cutting. It could be maybe I didn't sew it exact. And all that's fine. So let's take it from this side over. I'm on the 10-inch mark. And it's right at 10 3/4. So I'm going to go with 10 3/4. Now here's where it gets interesting. See, normally when you're going to match up, you're going to, cut squares to match up. Well, you're going to cut them 10 3/4 and 10 3/4 and put them together, right? I'm not going to do that. The first thing I'm going to do is cut off this selvage. And this is my preferred ruler. I like this ruler. So I'm just going to kind of course, I don't want to cut off more than what I have to. And that's good there. There it is. Do you ever find when you clean and rearrange, suddenly you can't find anything? So I am going to cut the selvage off. Line that back up again. I can go in there. So I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch bigger. So if it's measuring 10 3/4 tall, I'm going to measure 2 pieces to be 11 1/4. Okay. So I'm going to put this at 25 1/4. So now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I'm going to double check my counting because I really don't want to cut this too small. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 1/4. So let's cut that. Set that aside. And let's do the same thing for another piece. Use my nails a little bit there. And I believe I want to have that on the 14 here, but again, I want to double check it. Because some days my mathing is just not that great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 1/4. And you're probably sitting back there scratching your head going, why is she cutting a 1/2 inch? Well, I'm going to show you in just a second. I need my pieces, I need my pins, and I need a board over here. So there's one. There's my other one. And I'm going to turn it upside down so that I have my colors going a different direction. And also that way I can match up my seams. Now, if you wanted to do it this way, that's fine. I want to do it this way. And then I'm going to match my seams up. Even here in the center. And match them up right here. Well, thumbs. There we go. And quite frankly, if I didn't cut them exactly, if I'm off just a little bit, I am okay. But in that case, I think I want to go this way. I always like to have the larger one on the bottom. like I said before, I love when I can do something that looks so difficult, but isn't. And I'm going to do this all the way for each one of my seams. That's right there, and I can feel it when I nest them. I said, oh, I wish you guys could just reach in and feel how those all fit together so nicely. And that is what we mean by the nesting. Just kind of slide it until it just isn't bulky. And there is no reason to hurry. And like I said, if I'm a little bit off on my sizing, I'm all right. Because when I get done, I'm probably going to put sashing around it. And you won't notice if it's, you know, 1/8 of an inch off here or there. And besides, we're also going to be squaring it up when we're done. That doesn't mean you have an excuse to not measure, but it does mean it's a little forgiving. And these are all nice and flat. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to draw a line from this corner down to this corner. And honestly, if you guys get nothing else out of this, and I may need to remove that pin because it's going to get in the way. Nothing else out of my tutorials, my videos. You do not have to be perfect. A lot of these are very forgiving, and those are my preferred, because heaven knows I'm not perfect. Like, I forgot to bring my pencil. I don't have a pencil and I can't find my chalk, so I'm going to use a water-soluble pen. And you can get these at Joann's, Walmart, Amazon. We'll try to put a link down there. I'm just going to very lightly draw a line from corner to corner. And here's where that extra inch plays in. Went too light. A little bit darker. And sometimes it moves, it slips on me towards the end. So kind of adjust it. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to sew 1/4 inch on this side of my line and 1/4 inch on that side of the line. There's our 1/2 inch. I'm going to be taking a 1/2 inch off of the length. Okay? So this is going long ways. I'm going to be taking 1/4 inch here and 1/4 inch there. But we're going to sew on this line 1/4 inch from it. Okay? Alright, here we go. So I have my stitch centered. I have my piecing foot right here. And my piecing foot guide is right on my line. That's going to ensure I have 1/4 inch on each side. or no, have a 1/4 inch from the line. And I'm just going to carefully out. Yep, everything's good. Now we're going to go down the other side. I'm just going to put that in there, set my guide right on my line. If I don't try to pull my fabric out. You notice I'm not hurrying. I'm taking my time. Because this is not a race. Now, if you can do it faster, you're awesome. I know how I sew. Don't want to run over that, because if it goes over it, it's going to send me all over the place. Double check it. Yep, everything's good. Now would be the time, if you're doing leaders and enders, would be the time to slide in one of your enders. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, put a link. So now we're going to take on all of our pins. And we're going to go back to the cutting board. Moment of truth. And I bet if you sew with me a lot, you know what I'm about to do next. I'm going to put my ruler right on that line. And you can also see I'm right at the 1/4 inch line on my seam. My seam is a 1/4 inch away. Okay. So like, there's my seam. My ruler's edge is on the line. And my 1/4 inch is right on that seam. Again, don't be in a hurry. Getting in a hurry, you're going to make mistakes, or you may not. I do. I make mistakes. So don't hurry. And just carefully. Cut all the way. Y'all ready? Let's see if this worked. And I have mitered corners. Let's press that. I think that's pretty nifty. Just a smidge off there, but look at that. And wait till you see the two together. And then, of course, You do 2 more and you can put them together in different ways. I really like that. It looks difficult, but you just saw how easy it is. And play with it. Play with putting your colors down the same direction. You know, see what you come up with. Play with only having 4 rows or 3. This is something you could play with. You can do scraps. You can have it be color coordinated. But you can spend all day just sewing your seams together. And then the next day when you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, you can do your cutting and making the squares. And this will go so quickly. And you'll have a quilt top in no time. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and I certainly hope you will come back. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share. Check out all the links down below, any affiliate links. You know, they do kind of help us out a little bit. No cost to you at all. But there we go. It is a disappearing fence rail. And I love, you know, we've got the 2 blue together, the 2 yellow, but then we've got different colors there. This is just awesome for me. I love it. The only one that's going to stay the same throughout is going to be this purple, the middle one. By having 5, we've got one that's always going to be in the middle. And I kind of like that. Alright, well I need to do some more sewing and playing so I can come up with some more disappearing patches for you guys. This has been so much fun. And I have way more ideas than I do time. So, hope you've enjoyed it, and I sincerely hope you will come back. We'll see you next time right here on Crazy Dave's Crew. Thank you for watching.